Okay. Nice. So, took a few attempts, yes. But ultimately, we found a way to make it happen with a different type of deck this time. And that card that we picked up will help both the Northern Realms and every other kind of deck. I think it will make it into all those decks as well. I think it is definitely good enough. That's good. Nothing in here.
Don't cross our lads.
Anything here? Or any of these buildings, really? Besides that pig? Okay. Oh, there was that question about whether we could pick up the additional alcohols it seemed we needed in order to create the white gull. And either we need crafting recipes or we need to purchase them. And I think... thinking it's probably purchase them that we're gonna... Ooh, that's not bad, picking up that stuff there. I think we probably will need to purchase them. I think the guy that we saw, that we just played Gwent against, was basically selling exclusively furs, so I don't think it's gonna be him that we get it from. Also, I wish we'd been a little more deliberate about deliberately starting off with the first of the buildings so we could make more of a point of knowing which ones we have and have not been in. But, okay, here we go. This is more like the first building of sorts. But yeah, basically, we'll just want to make sure that we keep an eye out for purchasing alcohols. Like, if we go to a tavern, I'd like to believe at a tavern we could make it happen. It's a little strange that with all the alcohols we've picked up over the course of our journey, we've not yet found those specific kinds, because it seems like they grow on trees. He says as he picks up an alcohol. So, let's see. There's this one. Is that the first in this direction? There's this as well, I guess. We've been in this one? I don't think so. We have not. Ooh, you two? No, that's the one we just looted. You? Sure. You? And by you, I mean, ew, gross, dried fish. Disgusting. How long has that been there? My goodness. Who did that? I thought we did. Apparently not. Oh, very much not, in fact. Anything else blown there? No? Okay. Just playing mind games with me. Okay. This stuff here. Okay, you guys are holding on to some pretty decent things here in your huts. Maybe less so on the empty bottles. But other things, those have been quite good. Okay. We've checked that building to the right and the left. Let's actually turn left here and not go to that building. We've been there, but this one here. And once we've looted everything, we'll make more of a point of speaking to more people, I think. I want to take it one step at a time here. Because I think there's at least one person, I think, that will have quest things to do with. Ooh, that's okay. Not bad. Saddle, I think, is still worse than what we have right now. Because like I said before, we have a really good saddle. Those are still decent crafting items. They're worth a bit. Ignite.
Well, my dad's off fighting the black ones.
Is that so?
Watch it.
You sound a lot older than a little boy. Okay. Let's see. That was the last building there. You guys look like you're up with something. It's a bridge. Okay, that's too small of a bridge. That one doesn't count. There's definitely something up here. Again, the other rule. Bridges and river sources. But then we're getting way outside of the village, so eventually we'll check that out, yes. Not yet, though. Not yet. Back here. And we've not yet been here. You look like... Oh, okay, apparently this was where the actual fast travel spot was. The blacksmith. Can we actually sell swords to you? I think so.
Blades, I've got it all. But I'm guessing you're more interested in blades.
Wait, blades are what? Oh, or cards. Okay, let's start off with buying things. And maybe even breaking things down into components, because it might have been a while since we last did that.
Show me what you got then.
But I'm mostly thinking, as long as you have some coins, which, well, you don't have many, we could take this as an opportunity to offload some of our big things. Do you have valuable crafting materials that we could use to turn this into a bit of a barter? Ooh, you do have some diagrams, so we could make those be the things we buy. Parchment, that's not what I care about. Greater Morana runestone, okay. That, I think, I mean, these are expensive enough that we can probably make this work. What other things do you have? Are these worth picking up? Critical damage bonus 37, though. Level 37, I don't know. Level 46, gonna be a long time until we can use those. Dwarven Blade. We've used Dwarven Axes a lot, because those tend to have, yeah, the crit damage bonus. And because we've been focusing on the crit, that is very nice. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of crit-based things, which is generally what I've been looking for. That only requires level 26, but it's not that far away. How expensive are the flawless diamonds? Very expensive, in case you were wondering. I mean, we could buy other crafting materials. Meteorite silver ingot? Have we ever seen that combination before? We've seen meteorite, we've seen silver. I don't think we've seen meteorite silver. Because I've bought a bazillion of these, like I was saying a little while ago. And silver as well, like silver plates even. Those are typically the things I've been making a point of buying when we have extra coins. That's gold, yeah. So I'm thinking maybe we do less of that and more of things like, well, do you only have one of these? I do only have one of these. But anything else special? Don't really want to just blindly throw our money at jewels of some variety when I don't really know which ones we need. That makes me a little bit nervous. But I think this is a safe purchase. We're gonna probably want that at some point in time. That's fine. Then what is this one here? It's just normal? Oh, that's pure silver, okay. That at least gets you up to a little under 1,000 coins, so we can sell you some stuff in that case. This is the one that we picked up recently, Daystar. But I think my rule of thumb here is that you guys are saying, Lids, don't worry about min-maxing which ones are technically more efficient to break down into components when you're looking at the relic rarity stuff that gives you interesting things when you do break them down. Just, I think what we're going to go for is when we have things that are worth a reasonable amount when we do sell them, like, for example, this. If we have something that's worth 930 coins to sell, we're going to sell this. If we have a relic item that costs, like, 154, maybe not. Maybe that is worth breaking down. Like 600, 700 almost, we're definitely going to sell that one. So I think let's take a look at what the most valuable ones are, and let's lead off with those. Like this, we're almost certainly going to break down into components. I know that's the one, I'm almost positive this is one that we got from completing Of Swords and Dumplings, which I feel a little bit bad about breaking that down, but at the same time, it's not great. It does have crit, which is nice. Yes, the damage is low enough that I think it's still not worthwhile, and we're just going to continue to out-level it. So I'm thinking we had the 900 coin one, which is almost certainly the first candidate here. Like this one, except I think this may not have given us great options when we tried breaking it down. So, I mean, if we'll explore a little bit when we see there are ones that are not worth much, but like this one, yeah, that's the one we're definitely, both of these, they're actually the same type of sword. They're gonna get sold, I should say. Technically stronger than our current silver sword. Is there a reason why we should not switch to this? Doesn't have the same crit damage stuff. I think that's why. It's a very small difference in terms of the damage, and it doesn't have the crit. So I think it is probably still better to use the one that we have, assuming we were to repair the one that we have. And it does look like we were using this sword at one point in time. Understandably so. Other valuable swords? I think we dump this first. And that will almost get rid of all this guy's coins. But I think that's fine. And then we also did get rid of we replaced an old pair of gauntlets by getting one that was one level higher, right? Yes, we could dump these as well. Not worth that much. These might also be worth breaking down into components because those are only worth 75 coins and they are relic rarity. So again, they might have something nice that we get out of them. This is also relic rarity. But we have a nice Witcher School chestplate, so that might also be worth breaking down. Basically anything relic rarity, unless it's like, I think the swords tend to be most valuable, right? This we're definitely selling. Those are the fancy things, so we'll keep those. Yeah, you have 1 coin right now. So I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Unless we have other things to buy from you, but like I was saying, I'm a little bit more on the fence about these magic rarity swords, because they look good right now, but that is, I think, largely because they require that we be 24 levels higher than we currently are, and that's largely the reason why the numbers just look out of control. But once we do get to a level that high, we'll see that there are many other alternatives that are around the same. We could potentially see... Well, you're an amateur blacksmith. I was going to say, can you make anything special for us that could maybe give you some more monies and then we could sell more things to you? If we break things down into components, though, I think that does give you more money. So we may still be able to sell more after that. Like, if we break this down... What does it... Oh, no, this is repair. Wrong thing. I meant this. Dismantle. So if we do, like, these old gloves... Oh, even though it's relic rarity, okay, we don't really get special things out of the armor, it doesn't seem like. Stealing it is not crazy. Probably still best to sell those. If it's a weapon that is pretty low rarity that's not worth much, then maybe we can still do this here. Let's do this, because that I think was worth just like 30 coins. Similar here. But like these ones that we're not selling for much and give us amber dust, which I think is quite rare, could be worth it. This one that only gives us dark steel, that's not, I mean, it's somewhat valuable, but not, I don't think, anywhere near as valuable as amber dust. Let's do this. And it does give you some more coins, so then we can turn around and sell some more. Diamond iridium ingot, that is good. So that does look like that might be very valuable. Based on now it says 1,100. I mean, we can't actually sell it for this much. It's actually going to be some fraction of that. But blade from the bits, oh, that's also only dark steel ingots. So that's not worth much either. That also looks like it's worth a lot, but also does give us some interesting things if we break it down. Like loon, at this point, it's worth a little bit less. It does give us the sapphire, which is nice. This one gives us the emerald, and that's worth even less. So I'm thinking we probably do break that down. And the amber, I think, is also worth a lot. Let's break you down. Break you down. And then... Oh, that second one we might not have meant to break down. Break this down, yes. The dust, remember, is worth less. Oh, but this also has gold. This is just a normal rarity one, common item. So it's not worth much, but it does give silver ore, though I think silver ore is, let's see, costs us 43. Break this down, I think it is actually better to just sell that in that case. Silver ingot is a little bit better, but still maybe better to just outright buy the silver. This gives us a lot of nice stuff, but it is also worth a lot with that 1,000, almost 500 price tag. This one less so. Except only dust for sapphire and emerald, so a little bit more reluctant to go that route here. What's the price or value difference between these two? I don't know between sapphire, emerald, all the different types of stones, which ones are technically more valuable than others. Ruby makes it a little bit, I assume diamond is probably higher. This one does give a lot of things. I think that meteorite silver ingot was worth a few hundred. Then the amber and other dusts, I think, are probably collectively worth a few hundred as well. So I think this is decent. Let's go for it. Then I think we probably do turn around and sell a couple more things here. And probably that includes the armor at the very least. Okay. Now we turn around. We sell. We sell this. We sell... I think we're a little bit on the fence between these two boots. Yeah, we've had both of these for a while. We have the current ones equipped because although they're a little bit worse defensively, they're better offensively. I think we'll keep on holding on to those. We're going to sell these boots. We're going to sell these gloves. Then we're going to sell probably 1, maybe 2 swords. Ones that are worth a bit, ideally. Like that. Oh, can't afford to sell this, or he can't afford to buy it from us, is a more accurate way of saying that. Let's see. Any others that are a little bit less? This one. This, I think, did give us some good things to break down into, but it was more valuable than some of the others, so we were reluctant to break it down. So let's sell it. Then you are almost broke. We sell you that, then we're just about right on the money. Let's do that. Okay. There we go. And that should lighten our load a bit. Give us some more good crafting materials. And we still have a fair number of these relic swords here. So we can do a little bit more of that in the future. But there we go. A bit of the stuff we're looking for. And we get the additional diagram. Let's also play you at cards. And I think maybe we'll try to go with... I think we saw Scoia'tael was better than Nilfgaard, so maybe we'll stick with Scoia'tael here. And we'll try throwing in the new card, the dragon here, whose name doesn't even fit on one row. At least not when we're on this page here. Okay, so let's see, who can we swap out for you? I think we were saying before that we were not a huge fan of... Oh no, I'm thinking of Nilfgaard. There were a few of the muster cards that we didn't quite have enough good units to get rid of all of them. We do have some musters, yes, on Scoia'tael as well, but we have enough of them that I think they're a little bit better. Oh, it was actually not muster, it was type bond, I think, on Nilfgaard. So, Like, do we want to get rid of you guys? Don't think so. I think you're solid enough. As long as we set up our hand correctly, and I think it's a little bit easier to set up than the type bond, then this is basically 10 strength with one card. This is basically 9 strength with one card, as long as we don't have multiple in our hand simultaneously. Then I think that means we're looking at trying to get rid of one of these 6 strength pick your row type of cards, or even a more likely a 6 strength but you can't pick your row type of card. Let's do one of those. Let's get rid of you, and then we put, where are you? The dragon in. You. You're stronger, because you have 7 strength rather than 6, and you also have the additional Scorch ability for when our enemies have more than 10 strength in the close combat row. So, yeah, let's try that. And you are monsters. Would we like to go first? What? I did not remember seeing this pop up last time. Maybe I just clicked through it so quickly. Let our opponent start, I think is generally preferable, actually. We could hold on to a melee nerf here. Let's see how many melee cards we have. We could hold on to a siege nerf here. Our enemy is monsters, so I think melee is pretty likely. I don't think there are typically many siege cards on the monster side. 2 commander swords. Okay, this is making me kind of nervous. How many non-unit cards we have. A medic. We don't have anything to bring back with the medic, though. Okay, muster. As long as we only have one of them, we do. That's good. We have Milva and Saskia. That's a good combo. For these 2 good, strong cards. Same with the dragon. Okay. Get to play it in our first round with that card, so that's good. Yeah, I like the one muster, or one of our muster cards. We don't have numerous in our hand that we need to get rid of. I think we do want to get rid of a Commander's Horn, and then we probably want to get rid of one of the nerfs. This is one of the musters that we don't want to combine, so we basically need to get rid of you. That was rough. Okay, that's the downside of the musters when you accidentally draw into it. Fortunately, you did lead off with a melee card here, so I think let's wait it out a little bit. And we can either nerf or destroy a card in the melee row with you once you do get at 10 strength or higher. You can see if you have numerous 10 strength or numerous 5 strength cards and you just stack them all up, then that'd be perfect, because if they are tied for the highest strength in the melee row, then we'll get rid of all of them. So let's lead off with a hero here. Someone that is not affected by anything in the way of special cards. Oh, you do have a siege card. Okay, so that is actually good, because we don't have any, and we do have a siege nerf. Otherwise, that would have been a card that we'd want to get rid of. So it does serve some purpose. There is that. We also have the clear weather, is what we, I think was another one that we ended up drawing into. which is potentially meh. Depends if our opponent does do anything to mess with us. Okay, so we definitely do want to play as many cards in the range row as we can, because we don't have any range nerfs, so we aren't going to end up nerfing ourselves that way. We don't want to lead off with Milva, because she would be the highest non-hero card out there, so she would be the scorched target. We could muster. I think we do. Well, no, then we want to still keep our options open with the melee nerf. So let's stick with the 6 strength, play it in the range row. It does mean that we are now tied for the highest card out there, non-hero card, so we are theoretically scorchable. Oh, I was really hoping you were going to play it in the melee row. Oh, that is a hero. Okay, so we wouldn't have been able to scorch that or remove it with the dragon. I'm just going to refer to it as dragon because there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce this. We wouldn't have been able to get rid of you with the dragon anyway because you're a hero, I assume. So, in that case, our opponent is winning. What row do we probably will use Commander's Horn in the range row here? In which case, we want to try to save as many range row cards as we can. So we play them in the same turn, or in the same round, and double them all collectively. We do have a medic, so we could bring the one that we've already played back in a future round. But that probably means we don't want to play more range cards yet at this stage. So that means we don't have many other alternatives here, other than maybe going with the muster, or in the melee row with you, or going with the siege nerf already. I think let's go with the siege nerf, because we know we're never going to end up playing any siege cards ourselves. It might mean that our opponent will proceed to not play other siege cards that they might have also played. Or, what is this? Double the strength of close combat? You don't say. You don't say. Okay, I think we take this as an opportunity to play this card here. And I'm going to not use the melee nerf. I'm going to use you. I'm deliberately going to wait, see if you have other 5 strength cards, because there are many 5 strength cards out there. They would get doubled to 10, and then we would remove both of them with the dragon. So let's go for it. Want you to play another melee card here, which I think is likely, given how you doubled the melee row. Unlikely you would do that when you don't have intentions of doing more there. I mean, that won't get doubled. That is your hero. I don't actually think we've seen anyone play that before. Okay. And, however, now we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle where we don't really want to play anything other than this here. We don't want to play any more range cards, because those are the cards that we're going to end up bringing back in a future round in order to double. Don't want to use the clear weather, because that will remove the nerf that we have on the siege row, which is reducing the strength of this card up here. Was originally a 6, I believe. And then we don't want to play in the melee nerf, because, well, I mean, it would be okay. It would drop you down from a 10 to a 2. It would still get doubled from 1 to a 2 with the Commander's Horn. It would be a net 8 change. But this here would outright remove it, bringing it from a 10 to a 0. So this is still better. I just wish we had one other way to bide our time a little bit longer in order to see if you could play a little bit more in the melee row that we could also destroy with the dragon. But that is me getting greedy, I suppose. So let's just play it. It works. We'll get rid of it. It means we take the lead here in a pretty decisive lead at that. You are in the melee row. You will get doubled. You are muster. But those would have all been 8 strength cards compared to the 10 strength card that we just nerfed, or that we just outright destroyed. So it wouldn't really have changed anything there. You are now winning, though, which means that despite us having just destroyed that melee card, it may still be worth doing a melee nerf right now. Let's see, that would reduce you by what? 7 times 3, 21? It would reduce us by 2 times 3, 6, plus another 6, so 12. 21 versus 12, it would still benefit us more than it benefits our opponent. I mean, it wouldn't benefit our opponent at all. So, it is worth it. It's more so a question of, are we willing to continue to invest in this round? Or do we just roll with it and try to take our card advantage into round 2 and 3? Remember, Monsters does carry over one random card from one round to the next, so in truth, one of these is sticking around, and therefore in some ways, we are tied in terms of the number of cards we have. I think in that case we do try to definitively take this round. Oh, you're still winning, though. I did not realize that was still going to mean you're winning. That's okay. You're investing big time in this round. So I think we probably pass here. You will keep one of these cards, like I was saying. Man, that is a crazy melee row. We nerfed it, and still you have 26 strength in there. One of that, or I mean, 10 of that's come from a hero. We also deleted a card in the melee row, and yet you're still beating us, which is pretty ridiculous. But I think we pass here, and then we're gonna be hoping that you pass almost immediately in the next round, because you will have one card remaining, carrying over. But I think, do you do it? Is that what you're gonna do here? I'd argue you should, yeah. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play this card here. Doesn't really matter which row we're gonna play it in, because we're just gonna immediately pass after this. And you will continue to keep this card out here. I assume it still carries over from round 1 all the way into round 3, which means that effectively you have a card advantage here. We go first, but we can use our medic to bring someone back, which is tempting, yes. However, in order to avoid Scorch, I think we actually want to lead off with the Commander's Horn, perhaps, just to give us one more turn before we get Scorched, or at least are vulnerable getting Scorched. We could even Clear Weather, which would be a throwaway card, on purpose in order to pass a turn, more or less, and hope that our opponent plays a card that is higher than 6 strength, because I believe 6 strength is the strength of the card that we're going to end up bringing back with the medic. Yeah, one of you guys, or we could even bring you back. However, the reason why we probably wouldn't want to do that is we are planning on doubling the range row with the Commander's Horn here. We just want to have as many range cards as possible to pull that off. So, I think we Commander's Horn here. Clear Weather next if absolutely necessary, but we might want to hold on to that just in case our opponent does in fact have a range nerf, because if they do, then we are in serious trouble. And you don't have enough cards or enough strength in the melee row for us to actually benefit from the Dragon's special ability. It is still a 7 strength card, yes, but that 7 strength not getting doubled, whereas the alternative would be to play one of you guys in the range row and have you doubled up to a 12, in which case 12 versus 7, obviously better to play 12 strength. So, problem here is it is definitely Scorchable. So, it depends what we want to do here. If we think that our opponent has a Scorch, then we play Clear Weather. If we don't think our opponent has a Scorch, then we play the Medic and save Clear Weather in case they have a range nerf. Though, didn't we had some range cards out in the previous round and they did not use any weather effects to nerf the range row, whereas you'd think they might do that, so maybe for that reason, it's no guarantee by any means, but maybe it's somewhat safe to assume, or safer to assume they may not have a range nerf. I hope they don't use it right now. You have a 10 strength hero here, which is concerning, both because it's strong and also because it is not stronger, or you don't have any other stronger non-hero cards than what we're about to play. The card that we're about to trigger with this medic here will become a 12, what also automatically brings back to the range row. I did not tell it. Oh, and there's the Scorch. Okay, yep. I'm pretty sure we just lost because that, well, we can theoretically boost the other card here, and you will get doubled to 22, but that is our last card. You have 1 card remaining. You have 3 strength. You may not. You Scorch again! You had 2 Scorches! What? No way. No way. Okay. So, yes, obviously you beat us there. I don't know. I mean, I did not see that coming. 2 last-minute Scorches. So, we can try again.
Barrel hoops the blades, I've got it all. But I'm guessing you're
I do
more
wonder if
interested
we can
in
pull it off
blades.
with Scoia'tael. I mean, it wasn't like he was way out of our league with that. I mean, our alternative would be either go Northern Realms, that would be certainly our safest route.
Let's play
But try
cards.
Nilfgaard. I
Gwent
think that
wouldn't be
Nilfgaard might
bad.
be a little bit weaker than Scoia'tael. Let's see. I mean, I'd argue that our opponent's cards may have gotten kind of lucky with them, because he did manage to get the muster, a couple of musters with the melee row. and just got like a bazillion cards in that row. But, I mean, even then, we still nerfed, and they still managed to win that round, so well done. So, I think maybe we do. Give it another shot with Scoia'tael here. Let's take a look at what our alternatives are for our leader abilities. Maybe we try something else there and go for doubling the strength of the range row, because that's what we were looking to do with our Commander's Horns before. Can we maybe get rid of one? Or I mean, we have a lot of weather effects, or at least it felt like we were getting a lot of weather effects. Get rid of a Commander's Horn. Can we? We can. Yeah. That could even mean that we could throw in another special card of a different variety. I'm thinking maybe we throw in a Scorch instead. Let's try that. We're basically getting our Commander's Horn that we gave up. Okay, let's have our opponent go first again. I still think that's best. It immediately means that Scorch is playable in the first round, if we do pick it up. Decoy plus Medic, I already like that. Commander's Horn is something I'm more willing to do this go-round because... Or, well, actually, maybe less so, because we have it from our leader ability. Okay, so that might be what goes. We have this muster and this muster. Okay. As long as we don't have any more of those. I don't think we do. That's fine. Many of the cards with the flexibility to play in either row. And we do have Milva to go along with that, which is good, because she can give +1 to all of them. But no heroes. This is a little scary here. Milva is far and away our best card here. There's not a lot else that's really special. And the muster can be good, yes. We did also get unlucky and drew into a muster when we did our reroll. We definitely don't want a second Commander's Horn here. Okay, that's a big one. That's definitely a big one. Though he gives +1 to all their cards in the melee row. And we don't... we do have some. In fact, we have a couple of musters in there. Okay, no, that could work. I was going to say that probably would just come down to choosing who we're getting +1 from with all these cards. Is it going to be Milva in the range row, or is it going to be our other hero in the melee row? But no, we can make Milva give +1 to all of these agile cards here, and then have all the musters get +1 from Isengrim. And I think those are basically the 2 rounds we try to win. And then I think we play 1 card in round 1, and then we immediately we pass after that. Use the medic to bring it back. Decoy the medic. Okay, I think we can make this work. It's still not going to be crazy powerful, but it's usable. Would have liked probably to have gotten Scorch. That's partially the reason why I wanted our opponents to go first. Oh, I thought I chose for our opponents to go first, not us. What? Did I not do that? Apparently I didn't do that. I meant to do that. Oops. Okay, so what do we lead off with here? Basically, any card we want. In truth, it could even be Milva, our strongest non-hero. It can't be a hero. It can't be Isengrim, because we are planning on bringing this card back with our medic in the next round. The reason why we do play Milva here is because it might force our opponent into overcommitting in this round and playing a bunch of good cards. Like, if you play your musters when we intended on passing early anyway, then that's fine. And I really wish we had just a little bit more strength. If you had a little bit less, so that you had to play 1 more card still. That wasn't your best muster. You only brought 2 additional cards out of your deck from that, when in the past we've seen some musters where you brought in like seemingly 3, 4, maybe even 5. At least it felt like it. So, I mean, the plan was to just pass here. I think we do probably stick with it, because I think we need to save our stuff for rounds 2 and 3. I think we just do an early pass here. They will save 1 card. I assume that they will pass immediately, yeah. Unless they had something really clever to do there. We're going to bring Milva back with the medic. Wonder what you're going to do here, though. Okay. Is that also muster? That is. This one, you have way more. So that's the card we would have wished that you had played in round 1. That you would have used your best muster. I think that's probably your best muster in the first round. So, let's see. Now, I think we wait to go medic. We have to win this round, of course. So, I think this will be... I suppose it doesn't matter if we go either melee or range in this round. Range is going to be the round in which we you bring Milva back, of course. I think we might save her for the round 3, because if our opponent has this many melee cards, they're going to be reluctant to nerf the melee row. So I think this is the round when we play Isengrim, and it's the round when we play all of our musters. We'll lead off with Isengrim because he, of course, is Scorch-proof. They're also melee row. They're also muster. Oh, dear. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt a lot. Okay, so we have some musters of our own, of course. We'll bring them out now, and they will get +1 from Isengrim. That is the weaker of our musters. Well, not exactly. There's so much in the melee row. It's ridiculous. Here's our other melee muster. Brings just one other friend, but you'll also get +1. You are still in the lead. I'd argue you should probably pass now. You do? Okay. So here is the problem. This is ideally the setup we were looking for, would be to just play these guys, and this is our melee round. Because now, by playing additional cards, we are taking away from our range round for round 3. It's a little painful, but we do have some flex cards, some agile cards that we can play to either row. How many of them do we need? We need 2, don't we? Yikes. Don't think we want to play 1 in the range row and then double it with our leader ability. We want to save that for when we go all out on range. This hurts, for sure. Because we need to go 1 or even... Oh, dear. Do we need to go... Oh, dear. Okay. I think we actually need to go 2 more. Yeah? So this hurts a lot. Still think it was probably better to go this route than to use the double in the range row, because we're still going to benefit more from that here, where we bring back Milva. Okay, and we go first. You have a 6 strength card, we have a 6 strength card. Let's not bring back Milva yet, for Scorch reasons. Oh, I was supposed to go in the range row. Silly lids. Okay, so we have probably just lost any chance of winning by that misplay alone. I mean, we could decoy it back, but we were saving the decoy specifically for you. So, yeah, we have lost because of that. We may have already lost because we were not looking good to begin with. That means Milva is not doing as much with that +1. Milva is also likely to get Scorched here. Or nerf. Okay, well, if you had a range nerf, we had no way of doing that. We had no way of removing that. So we were absolutely going to lose in that case. We were absolutely relying on our range stuff there. We'll decoy out to bring back the medic, and we'll replay the medic, bring something back from our graveyard, yes, but that's not going to be enough. So yeah, there was no coming back from range nerf when we had no clear weathers to get rid of it. But the idea was we were going to play you, and then we actually don't get to pick which row to play you in. Once we bring you back from the graveyard, you just go back to the row where we played you in the previous round. So that meant that you were definitely going to go in the melee row anyway, which would have spoiled our plan to double the range row. So, or at least made it not as effective. So it was a flawed plan. Yes, we kind of knew that, but we were hoping that it was going to be just enough. And then once we saw that they went as far as they did in round 2, that definitely spoiled things for us. So, yeah. I think in that case, we break out Northern Realms. I think we break out Northern Realms against you. On the other hand, well, okay, let's do it. Wait, what? You're a blacksmith and you're a blacksmith? Okay. You. We got some beef with you, buddy.
I've got it all.
We got some
But
serious
I'm
beef.
guessing you're more interested in blades.
No, we're interested in the cards. You're going down. We're bringing out the big deck here. And by bringing out the big deck, I also mean we're bringing out the big money.
It wouldn't be bad.
A whopping 10 coins. Northern Realms time it is. And in Northern Realms, we will also add our new dragon card. And we are going to teach you a lesson. This is going to hurt you this time, not us. Prepare yourself. I think we might actually get rid of Dandelion. So we have a lot of heroes. We don't have a lot of cards that actually are non-heroes in the melee row. It's mostly just Vesemir. And anyone else? We still have you're a spy. You're also a spy. Vesemir is the only one. So yeah, Dandelion I mean, I suppose the dragon would be another card in the melee row, so that would mean we're doubling the dragon as well. So that's not a terrible thing. We might want to get rid of a melee nerf, maybe. Throw in the dragon instead, because now Dandelion's going to be better now that he has another card to double. Okay, I'd still think that maybe getting rid of Dandelion might still be worthwhile, but we'll give this a shot. Opponent goes first. That's fine. I prefer that. Decoy, okay, good. Melee nerf could be good. Range nerf could also be good. We know our opponent has a ton of melee cards, for sure. Siege. We want things other than just Siege experts. Hero, hero, hero. Tons of heroes. It can work. It certainly can work. We don't want this many Siege experts when we don't have enough Siege cards to double. In fact, our leader ability is quite weak when we don't have enough Siege cards to make them get super doubled. So we might actually want to try re-rolling out of this range nerf here, and we get a spy. That's not a bad thing. We can get more cards out of it. I don't think our opponent has any spies, or at least we haven't seen them play any. So that means the decoy is not as valuable to us, especially when we don't have any medics to play twice with it. So decoy can be good, but I think on this occasion, less so. Who did we get out of that? Did we get the dragon? We might have gotten the dragon, which is fine. I think it's a good fit against you. This is not our best hand that we drew. It's a lot of heroes, but our leader ability is still not great. So we can do this. That'll allow us to draw additional cards. And we can play another spy. And you have 10 strength in the melee row right now. And we can immediately destroy everything in the melee row with the dragon, which is very tempting. Or we could play a spy and then do that and still win. I think that is preferable, because you've already passed, which is usually a mistake to pass this early. Okay, so we drew into another hero, and did we get the catapult as well? I think we did. So now let's play you. And now it's a little bit more necessary. So it will destroy the highest cards in the melee row if they have 10 or more strength. They do. They have 2 cards that are tied for the highest strength, so it's going to destroy both Zenith and the Frightener, which means we will now lead. And after playing those spies, meaning that we have a pretty big card advantage here, you will keep the spy out there. But we still have our melee nerf, which is also useful. We will draw another card after winning this round. And oh, okay, so this is the medic. We would have liked to have held on to the medic for, or we would have liked to have held on to the decoy in order to double play the medic. Though the medic can bring back the dragon. And the dragon, given how many cards they have in the melee row, could still be very useful. So, we've slowly, and you are also a siege card. So that's good. More cards to double in the siege row. I'm thinking we do, as per usual, want to play all of our siege cards in the same round, if we can. That probably means that we want you to... We want to try to win this round, or round 3. If we want to win... If we want to play in this round, we lead off with a hero. I think we do that and try to get you to overcommit. I think we can bait you into doing one of your muster cards in the melee row, and then that will be one of your better cards in this round, and you only get a little bit carrying over into a future round. It doesn't matter who we take. I think we want to, outside of Geralt, because he's a little bit stronger, so let's not use Geralt. Let's use Roach. And we're hoping you play a muster, and then we'll immediately pass. For your own hero... Okay, I think we trade heroes in that case. We're waiting until you play a muster, and I'm strongly expecting that you will. Just a matter of when. Just a matter of when. We can trade heroes. We can do that, and I'm fine doing it because, at least for now, because we do still have heroes to spare. I doubt they have more heroes than us. Waiting for that, yeah. How many musters are you going to trigger here? A couple. Okay. Okay. You know what? It's awfully tempting. Use the medic. Trigger you. Get rid of 12 strength in the melee row. And then just go for broke in this round here. Try to win round 2. I'm thinking that might be the play. You probably will end up playing more muster cards, yes, but some of them, I think occasionally, your vampires are primarily 4 strength, but one of them is 5. And as soon as you have one 5 strength card, then the dragon is going to remove just that 5 strength card rather than all the 4 strength units that are tied for 12 right now. So I think we do this. Because that's a big play there. At the very least, now you're going to have to play a lot to catch up. Yeah. See, that's the thing. We wanted to play the dragon before you played this, because watch, most of them are going to be 4s, but there's this 1/5 here. And that 1/5 would have ruined the dragon, because it would have just gotten rid of the Katakan. Okay. So we are still winning, and our opponent only has 4 cards remaining. I think we pass here and force our opponent into playing 1 more card. They will have 1 card carryover, yes, but we will still have a pretty big card advantage and almost all of our range, or all of our siege cards to carry over into the last round, unless we go with a melee nerf, which would lower our dragon by 6, would lower you by what? 3, 6, 9, 12, and additional 4, so 16. Hurts you twice as much as it hurts us. That might still be worth doing. I think it is. Most of the cards that you're going to play are going to be in the melee row. So even if you do try to play additional cards to catch up, it's going to be hard. That is a siege one, yes, but you still have not caught up. So we pass here and force you to continue to play cards to catch up because you have to. If you don't, then you lose. So you will play more cards here. They will likely be in the melee row, or you'll double the melee row. Oh no, you're double... siege, okay, sure. You beat us by 1. That does mean that you only have... Oh, you lucked out and got the highest remaining card carry over. But nonetheless, I think you are going to struggle with only 2 cards here, and your leader ability, which doubles the melee row. Okay, that is something, yes. But we're going to lead off with heroes so that we are scorch-proof, and we can play 2 of them. So that means if you do have a scorch remaining with one of your remaining cards, then you aren't going to play it. And we can even lead off with, once we do play non-heroes, we can... Ooh, that's good. Okay. You can play Geralt now, which means that if you have a Scorch, you're just going to pass. You're not even going to play it. See? You do have a Werewolf. We haven't seen any of those. Okay, so you have 56. I think we can get that number here. We do have our leader ability to double the siege row. And you are out of cards, of course. Lead off small. Build up. See how we do here. But I'm pretty confident because, yeah, we're already very close, and then we double the siege row, and we're 1 away before doubling. Then we double, and we have beat you comfortably. So, that's more like it. Break out the Northern Realms, and there you see the difference between the Northern Realms deck and the other decks. It is definitely far stronger. You better give us an amazing card, because, well, I mean, I suppose we did to ourselves in many ways. That is one of the crones. Oh, no, that's the hero from the monsters in the melee row that you were playing, I think. I think I recognize that name. Pretty sure it's you. Yeah, okay, so that's a good monsters card. And monsters is definitely our weakest deck. We have not tried to use that in any match yet, for good reason, I think. So, relieved to finally beat that guy. And good that we did pick up a strong card after all that.